The Queen of Queens is who all Rastafari women represent. She is the mother of the nation. When we acknowledge Empress Menen alongside His Imperial Majesty, it's not to take away from his power. No, it's to show that his divine self created the balance for the nation. And as mothers of the nation, I and I as Rastafari women, we have a visible representation of Empress Menen because we are upholders of the Queen. We are the ones who care for the nation. We can say and remind ourselves, Malcolm X said, educate a man, you educate an individual. Educate a woman, you educate the nation. Well, Empress Menen is surely the perfect example here again, because as mother of the nation, she made sure that her place in our lives as Rastafari women, as in our lives, became that important that we had to look to her for the inspiration to be mothers of the nation. And each one represents that divine Queen of Queens, Queen Omega in the earth.
Yes, I, Rastafari, greetings and love to my Chilean family. Rastafari, Mama Fire chant up to the island, my sister and brother in Chile. But most of all, my Rastafari sister, Empresses, sight up that the island is going to do something, and I really want to say something to enlighten and educate my sisters in Chile of Mama Empress Menen, a royal empress who never declined from standing up with her king, Rastafari, to show us a perfect example that we must follow as sons and daughters of our mother, Empress Menen. She always stand up strong beside her father of creation, Rastafari, and she always do the things that is upright, so that we could even see the example and follow it to the things that is upright in the sight of the Almighty. So we are here giving thanks and praising and chanting for the fullness of Empress Menen and the glory of Empress Menen, that it could reach to us as our children in Babylon, so we could even uphold that integrity and that principle that guide us and bind us together in a perfect way on our side. So my sisters in Chile, this is what I have to say to the island. Hold fast and to Mama, for there is no regret or no disappointment in Mama Empress Menen, because her way is always perfect, and if we only take the example to follow her way, we will always be highly and highly in creation. So one perfect love until we link again, my sister and my family in Chile. This is from Mama Fire in Portland, Jamaica. One perfect love.
Honorable Empress Menen Asfaw, Haile Selassie, is everything to I. Without Mama Omega, life giving breath, I cannot exist. As a Bobo Shanti Rastafari woman, the 21 days purification principle that I live is a great journey that I learned to appreciate and love. To this day, it is a great joy to be a child, daughter of Her Royal Highness, Empress Menen Asfaw Haile Selassie, Rastafari, and His Majesty, Holy Father and Mother of Creation, perfect couple, and a wonderful example of purity in relationship, God and Goddess, living in earth. Gifts to give I and I hope for eternal life. Most High, Her Royal Highness, Empress Menen Selassie, Rastafari. I and I as Rastafari woman, mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, and friends should love one another and care and share for each other. especially for the little ones, teaching the honorable princesses uprightness and integrity to keep their temple's body in purity until married life, to be respectful to everyone, especially to the elders. Most High, Her Royal Highness Empress Menen Asfaw, Haile Selassie, I, Jah Rastafari, lives within I and I.
The relevance of Empress Menen at this time is the fact that she did so much with her life, and she had such an interesting life that it's very amazing to read about all the things that she built, the churches, the schools, the first school for women and girls in Ethiopia. There were very few schools in Africa at that time for women and girls. You know, that she believed in the importance of education because that's what her parents had taught her. That's all very important right now. Her loving kindness, that is one of the most amazing things. Everyone will say, whoever met her, how kind she was. She never lost her temper. Empress Menen was an incredibly loving person. That's what so many of her, I've been able to speak to some of her great-grandchildren, and this is what they all have to say. She was always positive. She had to deal with so many different things, and she had quite a big family, and she went around and, you know, she was interested in her family and other people. She visited the people who were sick. One of the amazing things that I found out is that she built so many things, and even when I do further research, I find, oh, she built a home for women who had no place to live. I keep finding more about the good things that she did in her life.
Give thanks and praises to His Divine Majesty Haile Selassie I and Most Royal Highness Empress Menen Asfaw. Yes, I give thanks. My name is Empress Sister Queen Ifea, a member of the Rastafari community since birth. I just want to recount and re-emphasize her relevance in my life today as a Black woman and as a Rastafari woman. That she will always be relevant in my life because she spoke and emphasized education, not just in the classroom, but right across the board within our daily experience. She emphasized the importance of the woman greater potential and playing her role from a family orientedness, working along with all members of the family, and in her case, seated right beside the King of Kings, Haile Selassie I. I think Rastafari women today, more than ever, need to make an intentional effort to come together and to continue on the mission that Her Majesty embarked. And in order to represent her and to be a reflection and a representation of her, it is important that I and I consolidate I and I's relationship in a collaborative way and an objective way. That the unity of Rastafari Africa is calling on I and I the womefulness of iration. So as I and I move forward, I emphasize to I and I's sisters, I and I's mothers, I and I's queens, ancient and young, children, female on a whole, emphasizing that I and I need to come together with an aim and objective of assisting the continuation of the unification of I and I's family, the education of I and I's children, and the maintenance of good and healthier lifestyle, including I and I's psychological maintenance in ensuring that the principles are maintained. Yes, I so give thanks. I bask in the work that she has done. I'm nowhere near there, but in my mind, it's a propelling energy that keeps I and I grounded to know that the promise is true, that it's important for I and I to come together as one people, one Rastafari, and most importantly, as mothers and sisters, and the female energy, the wombful energy in the family, to pool all of our resources, however large or small it may be. So I'm more liberation, I'm more acknowledgement, I'm more recognition of our Divine Majesty, Empress Menen Asfaw. Selassie, I live and reign forever. Selah.